Why haven't we cured cancer yet? We can map the human genome, edit DNA, and land rovers on Mars, yet this one disease keeps dodging our best science. The reason we don't have a single definitive cure for cancer isn't a lack of funding. It isn't a corporate conspiracy hidden away by pharmaceutical companies. The reason is far more terrifying. Cancer is playing a rigged game of evolution inside your body, and up until recently, our treatments have been accidentally helping it win. Think of your body as a massive, hyper-regulated society made of roughly 30 trillion cells. For this society to function without collapsing into chaos, every single cell has to follow strict civic rules. They must grow only when told, stop multiplying when space gets crowded, and quietly self-destruct if they become damaged or old. That pre-programmed cellular suicide is called apoptosis, the body's internal biological eject button. Every single day, your body utilizes apoptosis to quietly eliminate thousands of rogue cells that could have become dangerous. You never notice it happening. It's perfect background maintenance. When we think about deadly diseases, we usually think of external invaders. Polio is a virus, malaria is a parasite, tuberculosis is a bacteria. Historically, our medical triumphs came from identifying these foreign monsters, designing a weapon that targets them specifically, and blowing them up without harming the host. It makes intuitive sense. So it's only natural to ask, if we can design a drug to wipe out an invading bacteria, why can't we just design a drug to wipe out a cancer cell? Because cancer isn't an invader. Cancer is you. It is a population of your own cells that have suffered specific genetic mutations, accidents in their DNA code, that permanently jam the rules of the society. Their apoptosis eject button is broken. They refuse to stop multiplying. And because they are made from your own tissue, your immune system, the body's internal security force, looks right at a growing tumor and sees a law-abiding citizen. But it gets much worse. You cannot cure cancer because nobody actually has cancer. What we call cancer is a massive umbrella term for more than 200 entirely distinct diseases. Lung cancer, breast cancer, and leukemia are fundamentally different on a molecular level. Expecting one cure for cancer is like expecting one vaccine to cure every virus, bacteria, and fungus on Earth simultaneously. Even if you zoom into a single patient, the problem multiplies. A tumor isn't a uniform lump of identical bad cells. It is a chaotic, thriving city. This brings us to the absolute nightmare of oncology, the medical study and treatment of tumors. It is a phenomenon called intratumor heterogeneity, which means that different cells within the exact same tumor have completely different genetic mutations. Dr. Charles Swanton at the Francis Crick Institute proved this by taking biopsies from different geographic regions of the same tumor. He discovered that the genetic profile on the left side of a tumor can look like an entirely different disease compared to the right side. A tumor is not a monolith. It is an ecosystem. Imagine a vast forest. Some trees are naturally resistant to drought. Some are resistant to extreme cold. Others are immune to specific insects. If a severe drought hits the forest, it will kill 99% of the trees, but the remaining 1% will survive, reproduce, and pass on their drought-resistant genes. Soon, you have an entire forest that is completely immune to drought. This is clonal evolution, the process where cells mutate, adapt, and pass on survival traits under selective pressure. And it is exactly how cancer defeats our medicine. When a patient undergoes standard chemotherapy, drugs designed to aggressively kill rapidly dividing cells, it looks like a victory at first. The tumor shrinks drastically on the scans. The patient enters remission, a period where signs and symptoms of cancer temporarily disappear. But we didn't cure it. We just acted as a brutal force of natural selection. The chemotherapy successfully wiped out the millions of cancer cells that were vulnerable to it. but hidden deep within the tumor were a few mutant cells that happened to be naturally resistant to that specific drug. By killing all their competitors, we gave those resistant cells unlimited space and resources. They begin to multiply rapidly. When the cancer returns, the original chemotherapy drug does absolutely nothing. The tumor has evolved. To make matters worse, tumors don't just sit there and take hits. They actively modify their surroundings to survive. They trigger angiogenesis, the signaling process that forces the body to grow brand new networks of blood vessels. They literally hijack your circulatory system, stealing oxygen and nutrients from healthy tissue to feed their own rapid growth. They also deploy chemical shields. A cancer cell will express a surface protein called PDL1, a cloaking mechanism that acts like a fake ID. When a hunting immune cell approaches the tumor, the PDL1 protein binds to it and chemically switches the immune cell off. It tells the body's defenders, "Move along, nothing to see here." The immune system complies, leaving the tumor to grow completely unchecked. This realization has completely flipped modern oncology on its head. For decades, medicine looked for a silver bullet, a single drug to end cancer. Now we know that trying to beat cancer with a single drug is like trying to win a grandmaster chess match by making only one move at the very beginning. The opponent is dynamic. It will always adapt to a static attack. This is why the front line of medical research has shifted to immunotherapy, treatments that don't attack the cancer directly, but instead strip away its cloaking devices so your own immune system can see the enemy and destroy it naturally. We are also aggressively moving toward combination therapies. Instead of giving a patient one miracle drug, doctors hit the tumor with 3 or 4 different treatments at the exact same moment. The mathematics behind this approach are elegant. A cancer cell might easily mutate fast enough to develop resistance to one drug, but the statistical probability of a single cell mutating fast enough to develop resistance to 4 entirely different biological attacks at the exact same time is nearly zero. We trap the ecosystem before it can evolve a way out. We will likely never see a single dramatic headline announcing a universal cure for cancer. And that is because we aren't fighting a localized disease. We are fighting a reflection of life itself. The exact same evolutionary mechanism that allowed our species to adapt, survive, and dominate this planet over millions of years is the exact same mechanism a tumor uses to survive inside a patient over a matter of months. The battle against cancer isn't a war against an alien invader. It is a race against our own biology's terrifying ability to adapt.